Hey, this is Danze with Boni Bella Podcast. Thanks for listening. This is the podcast to be kind, do good, you are beautiful. We bring on weekly guests on Fridays who are just everyday people, families, businesses, nonprofits, doing that in the world, being good, being kind, and knowing that they are beautiful and giving that to other people, sharing the good news and motivating you to be a better person, to be a better self, and to make the world a better place. I also provide motivational 3 to 4 minute thoughts every couple of days on this podcast. So subscribe, listen, write a review, let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Eli.
How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. Well, welcome to Boni and Bella Podcast. I'm your host, Eli Danze, and this is the Boni Bella Podcast. And today I have a very excited, very special guest. Rachel Daggett is a local friend, mother, business owner, wife, a lot of things. But we talk about on this podcast the good, the kind, the beautiful. We help define those words in a way that the culture and the world around us and the society may not realize what those really mean. And so I help try and define nonprofits, people, families doing good, kind, and beautiful things every single day. And so I'm really excited to have Rachel on today. And Rachel, really thank you for joining me on the podcast today.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So we were just talking a second ago, but I'd love to hear your story, your background on just where you came from and how you came to be kind of where you are today.
Sure. Yeah. So I grew up in a small town in Alaska, actually. My grandparents were missionaries to Alaska back in the 40s. So I grew up in a tiny little Bible church out in the sticks. They started churches all over Alaska. And through growing up, was very active in our church and went to a private Bible college where I met my husband in Oregon, actually. That's where we met. And let's see. That was my freshman year. He was a senior and studying piano. My husband has a degree in piano performance, and I studied.
Cool.
Yeah, I studied voice in college. So we're big music lovers, and got married my second year of college. Dropped out, got married, started having kids right away. That was sort of the way we were planning to do things.
Right.
And it was probably, I guess, about 8-9 years into our marriage, we converted the Catholic faith really through a series of relationships and questions that we were asking. We had our faith journey kind of took us through a different layer of theologies. My husband was, when we first got married, he was very, he loved apologetics. He still does. But he was studying a lot of that stuff and listening to a lot of debates and studying theology at a high level. And so that led us to a lot of questions about what we believed and how we viewed our children and how we viewed the church, where the Bible came from, those kinds of questions. And through our study of history and the Christian faith, we really couldn't do anything but become Catholic. Everything led there. Everything kept leading there. And so we became Catholic. I guess it's been 12 years now as of Easter this year. And
awesome.
Yeah, it's been such a great journey. It really is the fullness of our faith. I love being Catholic. I love this tie to our history and our tradition. I love the understanding of the communion of the saints, and just the merit and suffering. I think our world needs it. Obviously they do. all things about it they need. But I think just the understanding of it is so widely missed today. And there is so much pain and so much suffering in the world. And to be able to use it in a meritorious way and to recognize that others have before us, to follow in that example is so powerful and so moving. So even as a stay-at-home mom with a bunch of little kids, suffering through your day, you you can find joy in it, and you can find merit, and really salvation is there. So it's just a beautiful outworking of the faith. And I didn't find that anywhere but in the Catholic faith. So I love that part.
Sure. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I've started watching you or following you on Facebook, and you're right. Like you take everything and you have like, it may start negative or start bad, but you have this view on things where you're able to see the beauty behind it, see the goodness behind it, and you just have a positive outlook. Like the other day you had like a live video stream about possums, and just that whole thing, you just turned around and made it positive and happy and good, and I was really impressed. I was like, that's really cool. And you were doing your laundry at the same time, and that's like real. It's real life, And that's what motivated me to start this podcast and just start this mission that I'm on, is to share the good news, share good content, share happiness, because I was in my world around me, just negativity on politics and news and in the work world, and people are down and out about Mondays, and I'm like, let's live for Monday,
right?
Let's live for Wednesday. Let's it's not Monday, it's Wednesday. It's another day to be alive. And so I love your outlook on life, and that's a really cool conversion story. And so how long have you guys been married, and how many kids do you have?
Yeah. So my husband and I will celebrate 19 years in November this year, and we have 10 children. Thank you. 10 children. My oldest is 17. He'll be 18 this summer. Graduating high school.
That is awesome.
It's crazy. You find
your
yourself.
Oldest is graduating high school.
Yeah, he's going to graduate this year. We're entering a new phase of parenthood. It's totally terrifying and amazing all at the same time.
Well, they all have to grow up eventually somehow.
I know. It's one of those things, I would say probably the last, I don't know that there's been a time in my motherhood, as a wife, that I've looked at my life and been like, well, I know exactly how I got here. You kind of look back and you're like, wow, how in the world has this all happened in my life?
Yeah. But what a testament to the beautiful, literally human. I gave a podcast on this the other day, just human life. Yeah. It is beauty. Human life is straight from God. Yeah. And that is the most beautiful thing. It's just, it blows my mind. It makes you speechless. So you have 10 kids. That's amazing. That's beautiful. And so where do you guys go from here? What's the next chapter? If you have an 18-year-old going to college, what does the next 20 years look like?
If I had any clue, I'd probably just want to quit right now. The best thing that God ever did for us is make sure that we can't tell the future.
Exactly.
There's enough grace for today, and that's what I need. So
well, if you combine your 10 and my 6, we would have a very good rugby team. I'm confident of that. I've got 4 boys. They're all young, but you could train them up. How many boys and how many girls do you have?
Yeah, I have 9 boys and 1 girl.
Wow. She's well protected then.
She is. People always ask, is the baby the girl? No, actually, I had my boy and my girl first, and then all the boys came after that. So it's been a wild ride. It's incredible. I was definitely cut out to be a boy mom somehow. I don't know. It's just so much fun. I've always loved kids since I was little, and it never scared me, the idea of having a lot of kids. Right. I remember doing a project when I was in elementary school, that you were supposed to dream of what your adult life would look like. Just, if you had to draw a picture of what you wanted your family to look like, what kind of a job you would have. I remember the board, the poster board that I made, and I couldn't get really clear on how many kids I wanted. I knew I wanted more than 4, but I couldn't say 6 because maybe I wanted more than that. It was just,
You've made it. You've made it.
So to know that at like a 10 or 11-year-old age, and then to live it out is just really, it's incredible. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like every bit of my life is so perfect and pretty. It's not at all.
Oh, yeah.
Messy and real. And it's hard.
But that's what happens. Like I told my son, tie yourself to the cross. Like whenever you're trying to do something, tie yourself to the cross. I mean, laundry, cleaning, windows, no matter what it is.
It's
and he
true.
looked at me like I had 10 heads, but it's so true. And so you have to do that every day. But there's beauty in that because, Christ rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. And we know that ultimately he wins and love wins.
Yeah.
And so, but you're also a homeschool mom, which means you got basically 2 really 24/7 jobs.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So currently I'm only homeschooling one of my kids. My daughter is home with me right now, and the rest of the kids are going to a charter school.
Okay.
But I did homeschool exclusively for 8 years. When my oldest was going into high school is when we made that transition. So since then, that's been just the last 4 years that we've really been, we've had some in charter school and some at home or whatever. But it is a full-time job. And, I think I have to give my dad the credit for really instilling that love of learning. I blame him all the time. He's not Catholic, and pray for him, please. Because he's not Catholic and I would love him to convert. He taught me to love learning. He taught me at an early age to ask good questions. So I blame him that I'm Catholic. And I blame him for being a homeschool mom because I love those 2 parts of my life so much. Right. And the real reason is that I was taught to learn, to love to learn. And I think there's just nothing more human than that. There's nothing more real than really experiencing every day and thinking about what it is that you can get out of this, what it is that you can experience that's new. How can you grow and develop yourself and your soul? Those are real things that we have to do every day. It's what we're called to do, even to just be good humans, not to just be good Catholics. So that's my dad's fault.
and that's kind of the journey I'm on with these words that I'm trying to help define and not redefine, but really define by God's terms is good, kind, and beauty. And I think discovering those and asking those questions is part of education. It's part of, how to think, not what to think. And that's what we teach our kids is how to think, how to think critically and how to ask the right question or how to ask good questions.
Yes.
How to ask inquiring questions. And that's kind of the journey I'm on with this is get people to start thinking outside the box. How can I help other people? How can I give? How can I love in other ways? And it's just awesome. So tell me a little bit more about not only you're your mom, not only you're a homeschool mom, but you also own a business. I mean, that's like triple S super mom, superwoman. I mean,
well,
that's amazing.
All the things that you learn to do, you learn out of necessity, right? So I started a business here in the San Antonio area about 8 years ago because I was pregnant with my 7th child and my husband was currently not employed. Like we were looking for extra work. And I started selling Cutco when I was in college. So it was something that I knew that I could do to make money fast. Probably some of your listeners will readily remember some college kid who has shown them Cutco knives. And that's where I started. I was just that cute college kid who doesn't know anything about cooking that showed up and said, can you just watch me do my demonstration? And then they end up buying stuff.
Perfect time to get started. Perfect time.
Yeah. It was a summer job before I got married. And I did pretty well at it. So when I needed something to fall back on here in San Antonio, that's what I chose. Through getting involved here in this area, I started doing vendor events and servicing clients around the San Antonio area. So I do sharpening for them. And it's a free service. So I've built a clientele here that makes me one of the larger distributors in Texas. Like, wow. It's crazy.
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. consistent hard work, it does pay off eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's another one of those little things that you don't see the fruits of it right away, but after a while, there you are. I guess about 4 years ago, Cutco at our national conference had announced that they were starting a new program. And this is where things start to get really exciting, like consistent hard work paying off, and me being a great distributor and having success selling Cutco has been awesome. But I can't be more excited now than I've ever been before. Like I can't believe where I am now, because announcing a new program that changes the way that I sell Cutco.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so looking for it. I can't even, I had been doing vendor events for 3 years, for almost 4 years, in and out of pregnancies. I was actually pregnant with the third child that I had been, since I had been selling Cutco here. So I had been traveling a lot, going on road shows, just on the weekends, because remember, I was homeschooling. So I was home every day,
Wow.
all day long, but I would drive 100 miles somewhere to go do an event on the weekend, excuse me, and then come home because I got to be home on Sunday for my family.
Right.
And that had just gotten really exhausting. I was just burnt out. Excuse me. And so I was looking for a new way, a change in my business. And then they announced this new program, which basically is like a party plan for Cutco, which they've never had before. And so I signed up to test pilot this program.
Mm-hmm.
And have had, it was exactly what I wanted. It was so much more natural for me to do it. It's been so much more fun because I get to, I joke all the time that I basically just get paid to eat food and party. That's the joke. But the truth is that I actually do. So
Right. That's awesome.
It doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, no, it's so much fun. So after a couple of years of doing testing and promoting this program, then they promoted me. And now I am heading up this program. I'm in charge of program development. I'm leading in the field still, but they've made me officially their national sales director.
That's amazing. Wow. National sales director.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like this giant hat, and I don't even know how to wear it yet. I haven't figured out which direction is the front, or I don't even know
just
yet.
Wear the hat and go. Just act. Like my last podcast was about action. We have an author on, Don Varney, and he has a lot of books on action, the action-driven life, and you got to put a plan in place. But eventually you have to act on it and just start doing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail.
Yep.
That's all part of the process. You're going to fail. It's going to happen. We're human. Nobody's Jesus but Jesus himself. So you gotta take a step and be bold and step out into the unknown. So that's part of this.
It's true.
And
it's totally
true. It's really cool that you sell like the greatest knife ever. That's what everyone knows about Cutco. Immediately you think greatest knife ever. So you're selling a very quality product, which is fantastic, and now you're the best at it. So, man, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And I think what I see as kind of my vision for why God chose for it to be this time, and for me to get to have this opportunity, and it's so powerful that I don't let myself really sit and think about it very long, because it's so it just makes me cry, and I'm overwhelmed by the idea, in a good sort of way. Like, I'm not like terrifying and I can't do it, but in a good sort of way, just moving me, because what is Cutco to me? Like, what do I do? Like, this is how I feed my family.
Right.
This is what I do to bring my family together. Like, there are so many moms out there that can relate, and dads too now, because so many dads cook, but really relate to that idea of
I don't cook, Rachel.
Feeding.
My wife knows this.
That's so funny. I have another story for you about my husband sometime.
But
anyway,
that is so cool.
So just the way that we feed our family,
right.
and how it's part of the way that we show our love, and it's part of the way that we teach them where we come from, and really food is one of the things that just brings us together. And how much are we missing that today in our families and in our homes? And I really see like this is an opportunity for me to promote that part of what Cutco at home is.
That is a perfect point. I had never thought about that. That is phenomenal. I love that.
Thank you.
Eat at home. Like, have this amazing set of tableware that you can use, and then use it as a tool, basically, to invite your family over for more meals. I mean, have more dinners together, have more meals together. That is awesome. I really like that a lot. That is so cool.
Thank you. Yeah. It's kind of, I mean, everybody wants to do something that's changing the world. Everybody wants to do something that means something big, right? We want to impact society. And we have no greater way to do that than in our own home.
Man, you're so good at this. You should be national sales director. You should have a hat that just says national sales director. They literally should be wearing a hat. But I was just thinking about like people that are busy, and there's that old phrase that says, you know, if you want something done right or something done well at all, give it to someone that's busy. And I feel like that's you in a nutshell. Like, you're a mom of 10, you homeschool, you got tons of kids, you know, you're a wife, you're probably cleaning your house all the time, you're doing laundry. Not only that, you're a national sales director of Cutco. I mean, wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's
so
pretty
kudos
crazy.
to you. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
No, I mean, that's a real testament to, like, you can do it. Like, anyone that wants to step out and start their own business, you can do it. Like,
you can.
This is a side project for me. I mean, I have an 8 to 5, but I wanted to start a side project just because I was passionate about it.
Yeah.
And getting this message out there of goodness and hope and beauty and love and all these things. And so here I am doing it. And, like,
good
I'm making
for you.
mistakes. Like,
I think it's
I'm
awesome.
not the best speaker over the phone. I'm not the best video taker, but you know what? I'm getting some airplay, and I'm getting some people excited, and I'm excited now. I mean, just hearing my voice talk, like, I've got 3 or 4 appointments set up in the next 2 weeks. I'm totally jazzed about.
Nice.
So it's just amazing what you do, what you can do when you have a belief in yourself.
It's true.
And that's the hope that I give to others too. And I think you obviously do that. So.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I don't know what else we can do that, that really matters when, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, all the housework, I'm doing it all the time, but it's going to wait for me.
Right.
You know what doesn't wait for me is that opportunity to inspire and impact other people. That doesn't wait for you. You got to do it. You got to do it right away. So
exactly.
I am encouraged and inspired by you taking that step out in faith to do this. And that's why I wanted to be a part of your podcast. So thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate having you on, and I'm totally jazzed. You got to subscribe, have other people subscribe, because there are going to be some really cool things coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I'm gonna.
That'll really be awesome. Some really serious breaking news and stuff like that. I hope to do more videos and more photos of cool things out there, and locally in San Antonio, but you know, everywhere. I mean, the internet doesn't discriminate against anybody, so that's kind of the cool thing about it.
Yes, that is.
But Rachel, I really appreciate your time. This is Rachel Daggett with Cutco. She's a mom. She's a homeschool mom. She's a superstar in so many ways. But I just really look up to her and everything she's doing in the world. So. But my name is Eli Danze. I'm with Boni and Bella. This is the podcast. I'm also all over social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just trying to get the good news out there about good, kind, beautiful things in the world, good, kind, beautiful people. And so I'd love to hear your story. You're welcome to hit me up, contact me through one of those platforms or through this podcast. You're welcome to send me an email, contact@bonibella.com. I'm on my website, bonibella.com. Subscribe, send me a review, tell me what you think. Love to hear from you. Rachel, love to hear from you as well. Send me a review, tell me what you thought about today. I'd love to get your feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
All right, Rachel, Dad, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
All right, you have a great day, Eli.
Hey, God bless. Prayers to your family.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot for listening. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, write a review, let me know what you thought. We're also on the web at bonibella.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Look us up, send me a message. Love to hear from you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. huge thank you to all those who provided their monetary support for this podcast. If you would also like to give of your monetary support, please click on the link in the bottom of the show notes or go to anchor.fm/Boni Bella. Thank you again. Take care.